This is the Transportation TV News Update. I'm Tony Dorsey reporting.
How you doing?
An impressive list of some of the nation's top transportation finance policymakers from both houses of Congress, the U.S. Department of Transportation, and the private sector participated in a major forum on transportation funding. Organized by AASHTO's Nonpartisan Center for Excellence in Project Finance, the conference gave participants like Oregon Democratic Representative Earl Blumenauer, a member of the House Ways and Means Committee, the opportunity to share their insights and analysis. Among the other notables was Florida Republican Representative John Mica, the ranking member of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, and Pennsylvania Governor Edward Rendell, co-founder of Building America's Future. Rendell says his message to State Department of Transportation officials was to ask them to help lead the campaign for a new 6-year highway and transit bill in their home states.
But the American people do support it. It cuts across political and ideological lines. I think we can get it done. But the AASHTO members have to lead the charge back home, not in Washington, but in Birmingham, Alabama, and Sacramento, California, and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and the like.
Call funding and financing solutions for surface transportation in the coming decade. AASHTO Executive Director John Horsley says the goal of this conference is to put as many funding tools in the toolbox as possible.
We've got to keep pounding away until we find a solution that can enable the country to meet its infrastructure needs, because the economy has got to grow, and it can't grow and be sustained without a solid base of infrastructure.
The day-long conference was held Thursday at the U.S. Capitol Visitor Center. In other news from Capitol Hill, Mike Rowe says he's never seen a job he wasn't willing to try at least once.
Dirty Jobs could be called I Make America. If you haven't seen the program, it's been on about 7 years now.
Rowe, the outspoken TV host of the popular Discovery Channel series Dirty Jobs, took on the job of campaign pitchman for I Make America, a national public outreach and awareness effort sponsored by the 800-member Association of Equipment Manufacturers, or AEM.
I suspect deeply that many of the things we talk about as problems, the skills gap, the infrastructure, a myriad of things really aren't problems in and of themselves. They're symptoms of something a lot more fundamental. And if I had a theory, I would say that it's our disassociation and our disconnectedness with dirt, or a willingness to get dirty.
Rowe says by that he means America needs to relearn the value of skilled labor, jobs in the trades, on the farm, or in the factory. That's why the campaign supports winning congressional approval for a multi-year highway and transit authorization bill. The current legislation, which supports both highway and transit programs, has been extended 5 times since it expired 1 year ago this week. AEM member Ronald DeFeo, chairman of Terex Corporation, says America's business and trucking industries both support raising the gas tax or user fee to pay for the legislation.
Today, we have the U.S. Truckers Association, the National Association of Manufacturers, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, all supporting a very substantial increase in the user fee, because we all recognize that nothing is free. So all we need to do is to recover the economic value of what we once had to invest in our infrastructure, and that would be a very big plus. So, Congress, so Washington, can you at least do that?
The I Make America campaign also hopes to strengthen manufacturing jobs in the U.S. AEM says 5.5 million U.S. manufacturing jobs have been lost in just the past 10 years.
I think that the key thing for us here as Congress goes home is they're going home. They're going to go and run for election now, is to get that voice out there and talk to them, meet with them in their offices, and talk about how important it is really to get behind fully funding an infrastructure bill, to also get behind looking at exports and pass the free trade agreements that are out there. So really there's a lot that can be done when they're not in session. In fact, I think they listen better when they're back home than they do here.
Find out more by visiting the campaign website at www.imakeamerica.com. And this programming note, Mike Rowe had a lot of provocative ideas about work life in America today. Watch for details on the complete Mike Rowe video coming up right here on Transportation TV. And finally this week, creating jobs and boosting the national economy was the purpose of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. And an updated report titled More Projects and Paychecks, Transportation's Summer of Recovery illustrates how these investments in transportation are delivering exceptional results. According to the AASHTO report released this week, a total of 13,000 highway projects worth $26.4 billion have been approved for construction, and once completed, those projects will improve more than 35,000 miles of highways and 1,200 bridges. Read the full report, including state examples of recovery projects and the people they employ, at recovery.transportation.org. That's the Transportation TV News Update. Thanks for watching.